Hello everyone. I think we can start now. So I'm Tushar Pingte. I'm senior business analyst in Kylas. Today's topic is all about the Zohobooks. We are going to discover Zohobooks marketplace application that we have recently created. We will take a look how we can improve the collaboration between sales and finance teams with Zohobooks. Okay. In today's webinar, we will be covering introduction to Zohobooks, how to install this application over your Kylas account, and how you can set up your Zohobooks account on Kylas. Okay, how we can sync Kylas data with Zohobooks, how we can create invoices in Kylas itself, how we can add customers from Kylas to Zohobooks, and how you can see all the invoices which are created in Kylas. Okay, so in introduction of Zohobooks, recently it was announced that QuickBooks, a popular accounting software, is ending its business operations in India, right? So let me share my screen so you will get to know what is Zohobooks. So after QuickBooks left out the India, this decision was left many business searching for an alternative solutions to manage their finances effectively in India, right? And this is where Zohobooks comes in picture. Right? So Zohobooks is nothing but the online accounting software developed by Zoho, and we have integrated this Zohobooks into Kylas to create invoices that can be sent to your end customers. Then, if you are already using Zohobooks, then you can track your expenses, you create invoices and generate reports and manage your financial transactions in Zohobooks. Right? So let's take a look how you can install this Zohobooks marketplace application in Kylas, and then later how you can create invoices and customer from Kylas itself. So, okay. So first of all, to install this application, just log in into your Kylas account. After first login, you will see this dashboard. Now I want to install this application over my Kylas account. So I will just go to Kylas marketplace. Under all apps, if you scroll down, you will see on Zohobooks application. Just select this application and install it. It will ask me on which Kylas account I want to install this application. I have entered my credential and I will just click on sign in. Once you sign in, it will ask you to check your permissions which are required to use this application. Just click allow and install. And this application is installed on my Kylas account. Now, for if you are for the first time you're using this Zohobooks integration application, okay, you will need to connect your Kylas account with this marketplace application. So in order to connect your Kylas account, just go to Kylas settings. Here under integration, just copy your API key, Kylas API key, and now paste it over here under Zohobooks integration application. Okay, I have pasted my Kylas API key and will save it. Okay, so now my API key is configured with this application. Now I want to connect my Zohobooks account in order to sync the data between two platforms. So I will go to connected accounts. Right now, if you can see, I have already connected my account, but if you haven't, just click on connect account. It will ask you certain information like organization ID, client secret, and domain suffix. So to get the organization ID, if you click on this hyperlink, you will see how you can get this organization ID. Now just go to your Zohobooks application. This is my Zohobook. Click over here and you will see this organization ID. Just copy this organization ID and paste it over here. Now it will ask you client ID and client secret. So how you can get this client ID and client secret? Just click on this hyperlink. You just have to launch this URL. So this is nothing but the API console.zoho.in. Okay. Just click on add client and you will have to select server based application. If you follow the steps which are given here, you will get a client ID and client secret. So just select server based application. After that, give a client name as a Kylas, homepage URL as a zohobooks.integration.kylas.io, and authorize redirect URL. Just copy those URL and paste it over here. I have already created this application on my Zohobooks account. You can see I have given a name, client name as a Kylas, homepage URL, and authorize redirect URL. Just click on create or update, and now you are ready to use this application. Right now, just copying this client ID and client secret. Now domain surveillance. So you might be doing business in Europe or India, then you will have this domain suffix with your Zohobooks account. So just check your domain suffix. If it's .in, just select .in, or if it's any other, you can select .com or .eu. Just select and click on save and continue. It will navigate you to your Zohobooks account for an authentication. Just authorize yourself. Give a permission to this application. And yes, your Zohobooks account is connected. Okay. Now I have connected my Kylas account with this integration application, and I have connected my Zohobooks account with this application. Now I want my account users or sales users uh, to use this application, to install this application. So what I will do, I will go to manage users and I will invite those users to which I want to create the invoice for my end customers. So just go to manage users and click on fetch users. When you click on fetch users, you will get all the list of the users which are available in your Kylas account. All right. You can send invite to only those users which you want to create invoice for your customers. If you don't want any user to create invoice or don't want to give a permission to create invoice, don't invite. You don't need to invite those users. So here I want these users to invite to create this create invoice for my customers. I will click on the invite CTA, and now this user will receive a invitation link on these applications. Once his user is confirmed their email ID, they can install this application over their Kylas account. Okay. So this was all about configuring your Zohobooks and Kylas account on this Zohobooks marketplace application and inviting users. Now I want to sync my products and services which are available on my Zohobooks. So let me go to Zohobooks. This is my Zohobooks account. Under items, I have 1, 2, 3 products. Okay. So I want these products to be synced in Kylas. and whatever prices are there, that should be replicated in Kylas itself. So later, let's say if you are changing or your accounting team is changing the prices of your product in Zohobooks, that should be replicate. The same changes should be replicated in your Kylas. So that's why you have to create your products over here, and then we will sync those products in your Kylas. So again, I will go to Kylas account, and here is the sync setting. So just click on this sync setting. Here, what data you need to sync between Kylas to sync Zohobooks, you can see over here. So I want to sync my products. So I will map my Kylas field with Zohobooks field. We have already given a default mapping for you, but if you want to map more fields, you can select add field mapping and select Zohobooks field to sync with one of the product field. Okay, this same way you can map your customers fields. You can map your Kylas contact fields with these Zohobooks customer fields. Here also we have given a default mapping. And also if you go to deals, we have given a default mapping for deals as well. You can add more mapping to get more information from Kylas to Zohobooks. Reason for this sync setting is that whatever data you will have with respect to your customers, deals, or products in Kylas, that should be passed to your Zohobooks account. That's why we have given this mapping. Once you are done with mapping, just save it. Now you have to sync all your these items in Kylas. Just go to items. Here you can see fetch items. I have already sync my Zohobooks items with my Kylas. So if you are first time user, just click on fetch items and it will fetch out all the products which are available in Zohobooks. Let me show you by adding one of the product. So this is my product Kylas Embark, which costs 1000. I will save this. Okay. So this is the Kylas Embark. That product I have added in my Zohobooks. If I go here, click on items and fetch items. You can see this product has been added to my Kylas. This is the product ID. This is the name. This is the Zohobooks item ID. If I want to check whether this product is been added to my Kylas account or not, I will just click here, view in Kylas. So here you can see this is the product Kylas Ember price, and I think item code which I had mapped. Same way you can navigate to Zohobooks to check your item. Okay, so this was about fetching the items. Now let's assume that you have fetched certain number of products and later you are adding more number of products in your Zohobooks account. Don't need to fetch every time. Whenever you are going to update price or adding a new product or deleting any product in your Zohobooks account, we will replicate those changes in Kylas itself. So if you are changing a price, we will change the price in Kylas. If you are updating or deleting any product in Zohobooks, we will deactivate those products in Kylas. Okay, so this was all about items. Now the very important part, that is creating invoices. So now I am done with all the setup. Now I want to create an invoice. I will go to Kylas. Here, let me add a deal. Okay, so I have added this deal. I will attach a pipeline for my sake. So this is the deal for Zohobooks. Now it's on the open stage. Okay, so let's assume that over the period of time you have nurtured this deal with this contact. You have closed this deal. You have just won the deal. Now, in some of the cases, it's account person responsibility to generate invoice and send it over the mail to your end customer. In case of this deal is Deepak is the customer, or your salesperson. You want your salespersons to generate the invoice. They can also do that. They just have to install this application over their Kylas account. Now I have won this deal. Now I want to generate invoice which will be sent in my Zohobooks account, and later I can send that invoice to my end customer from my Zohobook account. Okay. So I have won this deal. Now I want to generate a invoice. If you click on this more action button, let me check whether the application is installed or not. Here you can see generate invoice. Okay. So after winning this deal, I will click on generate invoice CTA. Okay. So whatever field you had mapped over here in this application, let me show you once again what fields I had mapped. For products, this number of fields I had mapped. For contacts, this number of fields I had mapped. And for deals, there was only three uh, fields: ID, name, and created. So ID will go with the invoice number, which will be entered in Zohobooks invoice form. Name will be a subject for that invoice, and created at date will be a invoice date. So let's check whether these informations are replicated or not. So this is the generate invoice. Here you can see invoice number. This is the invoice date. This is due date. Also, we have already mapped the products quantity, price, and total amount fields from the backend itself. So whatever products you will be having on this day, you can see there are two products, quantity is 1 and this is the price. Whenever you are going to generate the invoice, you will see all those products auto selected over here, right? Here you can see total. You can check all the things. If you want to add more information while creating the invoice, like billing address and shipping address, you can add the billing address. I can copy the same billing address to shipping address. Here some additional information. If you want to send this GST related information over the invoice, you can select those informations. This is coming from your Zohobooks account only. Whatever taxations setting you have configured in your Zohobooks account, we are just replicating those settings over this form. This is the GST ID of your GST number, place of the supply and everything. You can add a note. You can add a terms and conditions as well. Now let me show you whatever invoices I have in Zohobooks. So I have 3 invoices in my Zohobooks account. When I click on save, you can see the invoice is being created. If you click on this, you'll be navigating to your Zohobooks account where you can see this created invoice. I had Earlier I had only 3 invoices, and now we have just recently created this invoice. This is the copy of invoice. This is nothing but the template that you have set in your Zohobooks account. From here, you can edit this invoice if you want. You can share this invoice. If you can download this invoice, also you can send it over mail or SMS to your end customer, which is Deepak in this case. Okay. Now I want to see whether my sales guy or account person has created invoice for those one deals or not. So as an admin, I can visit this deals details page, and here if I install this application over my Kylas account, I will see this Zohobooks, view Zohobooks invoices CTA over here. Just click on this CTA and you will get to see whatever invoices your team has generated with respect to this particular deal. Right here also you can see a status of this invoice is draft. Let's assume you have set up of online payment or any payment mode in your Zohobooks account, and this end customer is making a payment over your sent invoice. So once you get the paid as a status over this invoice, we will just update this status from draft to paid over here. So whenever you will visit this details page, you will get to know that whether this invoice is paid or still in the draft state. Okay. You can also, if you are having more products and services, you can get better information in this pop-up. You can download this invoice from here. This way you can get all those invoice in a template form which you have set up in your Zohobooks. Also, if you want to check who was, if in case there are multiple contacts, right, with respect to one deal, and for which contact you have generated this invoice, you can just click over here and you will be redirected to that contact page. Okay. Here also you can be navigated to that particular invoice, and here you can see who was the user who has generated this invoice and when it was generated. Right now I will go to this contact. Let's assume that you have a recurring business from particular contact. You are creating a multiple deals with that contact. So here on this contact detail page, I'm on the contact detail page. You will also see this view Zohobooks invoices CTA over here. If you click on this CTA, you will see all those deal related invoices that you have created with this contact. Okay. So this way those invoices which have been created with on the deal will be visible over the deal details page as well as over this contact details page. Now let's assume that if you are a regular user of this Zohobooks application, in order to create an invoice, let me create a new invoice in Zohobooks itself. So here I am in this invoices section. I will create a new invoice. Here, if you are adding a or creating a new invoice, you should have that customer added in your Zohobooks account. Right now, if you see, I have only two customers in my Zohobooks account. When the reason behind is that the customer might have certain GST or tax related information on the customer form. If we visit this customer form, here I can give a first name, last name as well. Here under other details, you can add GST related information with respect to that customers. And that's why while creating invoice in Zohobooks, you must be having that customer added in your Zohobooks account. If you don't have that customers, you can also add a customer while creating invoice itself, right? So same way we have handled this in Kylas as well. So let's assume I will just disassociate this contact or will add one more contact. Let's assume I have added Pranav and will remove Deepak from this deal. Now I want to send this deal related invoice to Pranav. Okay. So there is no customer added with the name of Pranav Pingte. Okay. So while generating invoice, let me add a different product so you will get a better idea about how many invoices can be shown. Right. So now I will generate the invoice. So here there is no contact available with this Pranav name. If you see over here, there is no contact available, right? So first of all, we'll need to create a customer. Let me get another deal. Sachin Joshi, let's assume. So there is no customer available with the name of Sachin Joshi in my Zohobooks account, right? So here you can add a customer to Zohobooks account. So whatever customer you have associated with that particular deal, you can select that customer, right? And then you can click on this add customer to Zoho CTA. Now here, whatever sync setting we had done earlier for the customers, this was our contact to customers mapping. So we will replicate those information. We will populate those information over the customer add customer form. So here I have selected Sachin Joshi as a contact. Okay, so you can see the first name, last name of the contact, email ID is already populated according to the field mapping that I had set in my Zohobooks integration application. The display name is must in Zohobooks. You can give any name, Sachin. Let's assume. So I have a setup of GST setting in my Zohobooks account, which is mandatory to set the GST related information. So while creating this contact or customer in Zohobooks, I will need to enter those details while creating customers. So I have just entered this information and I will save it. Now this customer has been added to my Zohobooks account. If I go to customers, this is the third customer has been added to my Zohobooks account. Now I can create the invoice related to this particular deal. I can just check the products and services and all the relative information, give a set taxes. If I have additional taxes in my Zohobooks, I will give that and will save this. Now if I go to this Zohobooks, here you can see invoice related to that particular deal has been generated. Okay, so I have installed this marketplace application on my Kylas account, and I want to check how many invoices has been generated through Kylas, how many customers I have created from Kylas to Zoho Books. I just have to open this application. If I go to invoices, here you can see how many invoices I have created from Kylas to Zoho. This is the invoicing number. This is the customer name, the deal name for which you have created invoice. What is the status of that particular invoice, and when and who has created this invoice. You can click on this view in Kylas CTA to take a look of that particular deal, right? And you can see that created invoice, or else you can click on this to see the same invoice in your Zoho Books. You can also click if you want to download this invoice and send it over the WhatsApp or email. You can just download this invoice from here. Same way, how many customers you have created from Kylas to Zohobooks. If you want to see this, you can just go to customers, and here you can see how many customers and who created those customers and when it was created in your Zohobooks account, right? So this way you can seamlessly connect your Zohobooks with Kylas to generate invoice and manage your transactions. Also, there is one more additional information is that uh, when it comes to accounting software, this GST or tax related information is very crucial thing, right? So if you see over here, while creating invoice, there is some GST related information mandatory, which I have set up on my Zohobooks account. If you see, it don't allow me to save this invoice without selecting a tax. The same setting I have available because the same setting I have available on my Zohobooks account, right? But if I don't want this setting, I can go to my Zohobooks under GST setting. I can just toggle this off. So whatever tax related informations you are seeing over here, if I toggle this off and save this. Let me delete the invoices. So I have turned off my GST related information over my invoices. Now, if I go to create invoice, you cannot see any tax related information over the invoice. Same way, whenever if you turn off those settings in your Zohobooks account and you are creating invoice from Kylas, you won't see those tax related items over this form as well. So we have handled at our end. So whatever setting you have done in terms of taxation, we will replicate some same things in Kylas in order to generate the invoice, right? So this was all about Zohobooks and creating invoices from Kylas itself. I will just quickly summarize all the things that we have covered today. So in order to generate invoice, first you will need to install this Zohobooks account, Zohobooks marketplace application. I have installed this marketplace application. Okay. Once you install this application, enter your Kylas API key. After entering this Kylas API key, just save it. Now connect your Zohobooks account. Click on connect account and enter required information, which is organization ID, client secret, and domain. If you click on this hyperlinks, you will get to know how you can retrieve this information. Once you connect your account, invite your users to whom you want create invoice for your customers. After inviting, go to sync setting and map those fields you want to replicate the information or sync the information between Kylas to Zohobooks. You can give this mapping for the products, customers, and deals. Save your sync setting. Now, just create these invoices. Go any of the deal. Click on generate invoice. I think this is want. Generate invoice. Okay. Check all your information. If you have tax setting, just enter tax related information and save this. So same uh, invoice will be generated in your Zohobooks account. If you don't have a customer, you can create customer as well. Or you can select any of the customer. So this customer is not there. So I can add the customer as well from here itself. Just select your customer, check all the information, fill the required information, and then save it. The customer will be generated in Zohobooks. Later, you can just log into marketplace application to check whether how many invoices you have created from Kylas and how many customers you have created in Kylas from Kylas to Zohobooks. Okay. So this was all about Zohobooks marketplace application that we have introduced in on Kylas marketplace. Thank you. Thank you everyone for attending this webinar. Let's meet in the next webinar. Thank you. Bye bye.